And the fifth nominee for Best International Feature from the nation of Krakoa, a story of two sisters locked in a battle of wills, vying for reconciliation. Produced by Roberto DaCosta, this is Whatever Happened to Baby Jean.
Oh my goodness. Emma, I don't understand. Why do you have to be so horrible? You wouldn't be doing these horrible things to me if I wasn't in this chair.
But you are in the chair, Jean. You are.
Oh, use me. I'm gonna teleport out of here. Oh, I can't. Oh.
Dinner's ready.
Oh, no! It's Cyclops' head!
And the award goes to... Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 177 of Comic Book Queer's Legacy. We're recording on Oscar night. Ain't that right, EvilJeff?
Woo! So when you listen to this, you're going to know who the winner of Best Picture is, but we don't.
That's right. Actually, through the power of magic, we can congratulate them. So congratulations to...
Nomadland.
For winning Best Picture. I'm sure EvilJeff will get right on that.
It's so weird. Do you have Oscar plans this evening, Brett?
I'm a lot of math. I volunteered to run an Oscar pool for my coworkers and one for my friends.
Oh, but you're not with people. You're just going to be home crunching numbers.
No, I'll just be home with hubs, crunching numbers as winners come in.
Yeah, my thing is this is like, this is like post-vaccination where I could have a friend over. Nobody cares. And this is the thing where I've had Oscar parties and everyone I've been like, hey, Oscars, and people are like, oh, I don't care.
Oh, I know. It's really hard getting participation in these pools. I really had to pull fucking participation out of people. No one gives a shit. I give a shit.
Have you seen most of the nominees?
I've seen 6 of the 8. I have not seen The Father or Manka.
Yeah, that's my problem is like I can only watch things that make me feel good. If it doesn't have superpowers or two boys
none
kissing,
of these movies.
That's what I mean. If it doesn't have superpowers or two boys kissing, I just don't have time for it. I think I mentioned this. I might have mentioned this in a previous podcast. People are like, "You need to watch The Father." It's just like you really have Alzheimer's while watching the movie. I'm like, I don't want that. That doesn't sound fun.
Oh, you got to watch Sound of Metal. It's like you're really deaf.
No, thank you. I need to be happy.
I need escape, and we'll be talking about the ultimate escape, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, later on in this show. But first, let's talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hit it.
What are you gonna hit?
Oh!
Hot topics.
Hot topics, yay! So
God.
Unexpectedly got a Shang-Chi trailer.
I know. I'm very marveled up right now because at like 10 p.m. last night, I was like, I'm just gonna watch Infinity War and Endgame back to back for no reason.
Hell yeah. Yes.
And it's mostly because I was watching them and I was like, wait, what happened to Thor at the end of Endgame? And Joe was like, how can you not remember? He goes off with the Guardians. I'm like, I don't remember. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that.
As Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, I have to rewatch these, so it's more sunk in my brain.
I gotta watch the whole thing.
But Shang-Chi came out. And here's the thing. It's like, I'm very skeptical of things, but is it just me? Or does this look like so good? Like, does
it looks so
like it looks
good.
really, really
Here's
good.
What I love. Here's what. First of all, when the premise, he's clearly coming off like a 10-year Rumspringa.
That's what I was just gonna say, Rumspringa. It's like he's Amish.
We've allowed you to live your life for 10 years. And now he has to like come back and like be whatever he's destined to be. And he doesn't want to do it. He just wants to party. Yes, please.
And he's stuck with his partying friend, Aquafina.
Aquafina, his party friend?
I mean, yeah, that just looks really fucking good. And it looks really good. Fucking fun.
The fight choreography looks really good.
Yeah, and it's just so funny because I'm so used to him from
Kim's Convenience.
From Kim's Convenience, which I still need to watch. I'm halfway through the very last season, which I'm so sad it got canceled.
Yeah.
And Simu Liu is very upset about it being canceled because he was they agreed for him to direct like a bunch of episodes for the next season.
Oh shit.
And then they like canceled it. He's like, what the fuck? But he started out as a stunt fighter. Like that's how he got into.
Oh, that's how. Please.
So it's just like perfect, and he's just so hot. Yeah,
so hot, and they give that gratuitous shirtless shot. Oh,
thank you.
Yes, you know what we want.
And if I see one more article coming out about people questioning whether or not he's hot enough to play this character,
the answer is yes.
I'm gonna become a terrorist.
Jesus,
I will join.
fucking hot.
I'm gonna join Al Qaeda. Like I can't handle it anymore. He's hot. It just looks really fun. It just looks really good.
It looks really good. And did I spy the actual Mandarin?
Because it's what's his name? Who's playing him?
I don't know.
Wait. Oh no. I'm thinking. Wait. Who's the main villain in it?
I think it's Razor Fist. So there's that guy who's in all the makeup. Maybe that's Razor Fist. I'm not sure. And then, but they show a clip of somebody who looks a lot like Mandarin on a throne. That would be the type of throne that Mandarin would sit on.
Oh yeah. I think you're right.
With like a logo of 10 rings behind him.
Yeah.
Which makes Iron Man 3 all that more interesting. Specifically the short they came out with after, where Ben Kingsley's character, who was fake Mandarin, gets kidnapped. And they allude to it being the real Mandarin who kidnaps him. So I'm saying this. Open Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings with real Mandarin killing Ben Kingsley, and I will...
Oh my god, that's kind of amazing. Now I have a question. Are these the same 10 rings that Psylocke used to murder all the X-Men when she turned into Asian Psylocke?
Yes. But they look different in the trailer. They look like bracelets, not rings.
Oh, they're just, well, I mean, it's easier to accept.
Yeah, nobody wants to walk around with 10 rings on their fingers.
Exactly. Rings on your fingers and bells on your toes. Listen.
I can't use my middle finger on my left hand good, so that's why I never use the ice ring. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking at the IMDb. Oh, I was thinking about Tony Leung as Wenwu. That's who I was thinking of. Who, if you want to watch the movie Happy Together, Tony Leung.
Ooh,
from late
I've been
90s.
meaning to watch that.
It's very long and it's very slow, but it has him doing a lot of gay stuff. It's a Wong Kar-wai movie and it's pretty hot. Yeah, it just looks like it has everything I want in a Marvel movie. It has amazing action. It has amazing CGI. It looks like it's going to have deep character development, and then it has comedy. It's just like everything I want. Yeah,
I can't wait.
And then it's kind of like, and then it's all. My thing is, I do love how because the way this is going to happen is at the very end, post-credits scene, there's going to be some other Marvel character. Usually they always have, here's the movie, we're introducing this character, post-credit scene, here's how he's going to enter the rest of the Marvel world and become a future Avenger or whatever. Because that's what I'm then eventually excited for. Of this future Avengers with Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Crazy Wanda, Doctor Strange, the Young Avengers. Come on.
And the character that Falcon and the Winter Soldier gave us.
Yes. Hot. Wait, what's his name in the comics? Is he just Falcon or does he have a different name?
Yeah, it's Captain America.
No. Well, yeah, no. Oh, I thought you meant the guy that takes over for Falcon.
Oh, no, he's just Falcon. No, I mean Captain America.
Captain America.
But we'll talk about that
later. We will talk about that later.
Why don't we go to the island of Krakoa and catch up on 2 weeks of X-Men books?
X-Men, hit it.
I want your X.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah. Ooh, I want to talk about some X-Men. So last week we didn't talk about X books because they sucked. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, one kind of sucks. The other one, I don't know where it's going, but let's just talk. Let's get him out of the way.
Let's get him out of the way. Children of Wolverine number 11.
Wolverine number 1. That happened. It has vampires. It has Dracula. Dracula, my least favorite Marvel character in all creation. Whenever Dracula comes up, I literally, my eyes roll and I tune out. I don't give a shit.
Second least favorite, Omega Red.
Yeah. Oh, let's put Dracula and Omega Red together. Who likes that? Who likes that? Is it just like weird incel-y men that like that? Who is liking
like
this?
that. Men. Real men. Not like us.
Not cock-loving burglars like ourselves.
Yeah, and so that vampire hunter lady
is now a
vampire.
Is she
someone like? Is she a Marvel character?
She was in.
Do we know her?
She was in the first few episodes of the Wolverine series.
Oh yeah, God, I'm having trouble remembering.
Yeah. So it's like they introduced her, and now they introduced her again, and she's a vampire now. Ugh. Who cares? I don't care.
Who cares? Move on.
And then there was all of this, like, I also love how there was really no closure to the last arc with what's his nuts? What's that character's name? With the mask that was at the auction?
Yeah, Maverick.
Okay. Oh, Maverick's back. All right. Next. Anyway, I'm like, what did that have to do with anything?
Maverick's back, and he ain't joining Krakoa.
Yeah, but it was also like, why did we stop the Omega Red thing and have an arc about him getting Maverick, and then literally dropped and going straight back to the vampire? I just don't.
Right.
This book, I'm done. Please get rid of it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. You're going to cancel Cable and not this garbage.
I think Cable was canceled because Jerry Duggan's like, I can't write Cable and Marauders and X-Men, so something's got to give. They're like, well, obviously Cable.
I mean, and I'm not mad because Cable is going to be on Sword, so like whatever's happening, like his story is continuing. Wolverine, I'm done. I'm over it.
So let's move on to Children of the Atom, number 2.
Okay, it's a well-written book, and it's actually like pretty interesting. Great. Here's my issue. It's all just this thing of these kids they love the X-Men so much that they are just pretending to be mutants. And I do think this is like a real thing that would happen if we lived in the world of like you and me. We would pretending if we weren't mutants, we would be pretending to be mutants. Like we would be those losers being like, no, I'm like a mutant. I'm just not going to Krakoa because like I have like things to do here.
I'm like super sensitive. Like I have like emotive empathy. It's a defensive power. It's more of a connecting power. Yeah,
and I do think that's a very fascinating idea, and I think it's true, and I do think it would happen. Here's the problem is clearly, like, the Hell's Bells are like the bad guys that the Children of the Atom are fighting. And finally, Storm shows up with some X-Men to the battle between Children of Atom and the Hell's Bells. And she's just like, the Hell's Bells are like, rah, we're all mad, we don't have our powers. And Storm's like, bitch, like, just come to Krakoa.
Just come to Krakoa. Just fight Magneto or something.
Yeah, it's like they don't realize, like, you're going to fucking get your powers back, like, it'll be okay.
I think Krakoa needs a better internal comms team. Like, we need, like, how come the message did not get to Briquette and the Hell's Bells of what you're supposed to do?
Well, I think you don't get any message unless you walk through Krakoa, because when you walk through Krakoa, you're downloaded with the Krakoan language, and you're also downloaded probably with like all of everything that goes.
Recruitment drive. We need to get more We need to get more bodies through portals.
But I think it's also tricky because you don't want to just like, because it's a secret. They don't want the world to know about the resurrection and all of that shit. So they have to.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they can't just be like, hey, everybody. So it is tricky. But then the Storm is like, hey, bitches, come, you guys, Children of Atom, come through Krakoa for just a bit. And they're like, no, it's okay.
No.
And then they're just like, hey, we still can't see you on Cerebro. And I'm like, are you all that dumb? Like,
that's part of what
so that's where I'm just like, there's never 1 second that it's like, they don't show up in Cerebro. They must be hiding it. Maybe, what about the first thing of like, they're not showing up Cerebro. They're not really mutants. If you can fucking go to Franklin and be like, you're not on Cerebro anymore, so fuck off. And then you can't do it to these kids. So my whole thing is, once they find out that they're not mutants, what is this comic? Like, where's it going to go? I just don't see
Right.
the legs for it. I don't see it having any legs.
Yeah, agree. They may surprise us. I think my criticism of Children of the Atom 2, why I closed it and said, meh, like you said, well written. I mean, the art's good. Issue 2 felt like issue 1 all over again, but just a little louder.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
It was like another fight with the Hells Bells, more vague interpersonal drama, and then we're going to go through the gate at the end again.
I mean, and is it just me, or is it their friend that was sick? He's a mutant.
Yeah, Cole, the basketball player,
Like, he's a mutant.
Come on.
And then they're going to be really pissed off because he's going to be able to go through the gate. Like, I feel like they're...
Right.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny.
Totally. It is funny. Again, the future of this book is in question. If anyone would surprise us, it's Vita Ayala.
Yeah, pull something out. All right, so that was last week.
That was last week, and that's why we didn't cover last week. That went by quick. Let's talk about this week, starting with our personal, not favorite, X-Force number 19.
Okay. I mean, can we... And I don't want to... I mean, I know everyone needs work. And I don't want to sit there and belittle someone's... I know whoever drew this took probably a really long time and tried really hard. But there are few things that I hate lately. I hate the pandemic. I hate Donald Trump. I hate Republicans. I hate this art. I hate this art.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, it's like Josh Cassara's art, the usual artist of this book, but just a little looser.
Yeah, because I don't really like his art either.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I will say this, like if we open up, first of all, if you open up to this scene, you need to have a wide shot of that bed because Wolverine is on the other side of Jean. So fucking
absolutely.
So
They're
fucking
hiding
just
Wolverine in
so
the
fucking
Scotch
just
and- yeah.
show that for Christ's sakes. But this first this like the fourth panel of Jean's face where it's like Jean, like that, like what is this, Picasso? Like what is going on? Like and I can tell you this, like this style, this might work for a different indie comic.
Sure.
Of something, but for X-Men, no, I'm sorry.
No,
it does not meet my standards. And also, like, X-Force is supposed to be about, I know I've like said this a million times, it's supposed to be about like covert international relation ops, and now it's just like,
it's off premise.
It's like, oh, and they're like, oh, Beast is dead, so Jean, now you're in charge. And I'm like, that should be interesting. But they didn't make it interesting. You know what I mean?
I'll apply that to this whole journey that Quentin is on. It's just not, I'm not buying it. It's not interesting when Jean's like, wow, you really don't sound like you. I was like, he doesn't? Like, why? I'm not really able to discern. I guess it's because he's being mature and he's being a leader and not being snarky.
Well, their reasoning is they're saying that all the times he's died and all of and how they're pulling and using his powers to create this evil Quentin, that has all the bad, evil parts of him. And so now they've been sucked out of him. And so now he's supposed to be a nice dude. No.
I liked those parts. There was nothing wrong with those
There was
parts.
nothing. Yeah, I was like,
those were the good parts.
Are you making him a boring person now?
Now he's just like a Cyclops?
That's like, oh, what are you going to do next? Be like, gee, can you imagine if Emma just showed up like, hey, how are you all doing? I just baked donuts.
I baked donuts.
You know what? I just had therapy, and it turns out I was a bitch, so I'm not going to be that anymore. Yay!
I'm so sorry for being a bitch.
I would set the world on fire.
Addicted to diet pills for decades.
Like, what are you doing? Why are we trying to... like, don't change a character's personality. What are you, insane?
The end is so, like, anticlimactic. He's just like, he finally faces the monster and he's like, I killed all the parts of me that I didn't like years ago. Boof! And that's it. I'm like, that was stupid. That's like, do you know what happens when a toad is struck by lightning? Stupid.
When a toad is struck by lightning?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Is that a saying?
It's a line from the original X-Men movie by Halle Berry. Who are you?
I don't remember that.
You know
when a
happens to a
toad.
when it's struck by
Right.
lightning?
Yes. Okay. It's all. Well, I was just thinking of an actual toad.
You've been replaced. You're not the real Jeff.
But anyway,
Evil Jeff.
it's really stupid. I just hate this. I think the idea, though, if we move forward and get a better artist and basically do a thing where it's like Jean trying to vie for control versus Beast, and then maybe throwing in Colossus getting mad about the way Beast treated him. I think if this just turned into a whole thing of like how we're gonna fuck over Beast, then I think that's where I want this to go. Then I'd be down
I would
for it.
love that. A long con to contain
Because
Beast.
I'm gonna say this.
Oh, that would be so good.
I'm gonna tell you this. No one would be very interesting. How many people have been sent into the hole other than Sabretooth?
Like one. Sabretooth. Who else?
That's what I'm saying, is that's a very powerful thing. Can you imagine if Beast had to be sent to the hole? Can you just I'm just saying the ramifications of that, of how powerful that would be, of I'm just saying the Beast is realizing he doesn't want to relinquish his power of X-Force. Jean is trying to grab it from him. He ends up betraying people and ends up killing a bunch of humans. By accident, and then when he tries to apologize it at the council, they have to send him to the hole, and they're like, "I'm sorry."
God damn! And then he slowly turns into Dark Beast.
Can you come on?
Goes mad.
I'm telling you, that's interesting, and that's how you make a villain. You know what I mean? I think that is something interesting, and none of that is happening. X-Force, pull it together.
Oh. Get on brand. All right. Something that is on brand, I feel, is Al Ewing's Sword, number 5.
Sword. 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 Okay, so we talked the last time, and apparently we were wrong. Because I thought
wrong.
Well,
never.
Well, I was wrong. Because the last episode ended with Magneto being like, we need to resurrect Fabian because I need to talk to him about the second law.
Oh, right.
And I thought the law was about making more mutants. Therefore, they want to use his powers to amplify the 5 to make more mutants faster.
Yes.
And even though that's still a good idea, they aren't listening to me or my podcast. Nope. It actually was referring to the law of thou shalt not murder humans. And so they decided to bring... I will say, this is the one thing, is the whole thing I was like, I like everything that's happening here. I don't understand why. I will say that.
Sure.
I don't understand why today, of all days, do they need to bring Fabian Cortez back naked, bring him to the council, and have him explain why he thinks murder is okay. Why?
Yeah.
I felt like I was missing something.
In the data page that is Abigail Brand's notes, there's she's got some language in there around I just cannot trust Fabian Cortez. I have to replace him. He's he's gonna fuck us sooner or later. I gotta get rid of him. I mean, that's pretty much all the motivation I feel like we get, which was enough for me.
Well, for me, then that just makes sense of them being like, all right, come to the council. Hey, we're replacing you. But the whole thing of we need to talk to him about the second law. I just don't get the whole second law. I just don't get where that's coming from.
This was all, it felt like Magneto kind of punishing Fabian, just
because he hates
Fabian.
Him.
Just embarrassing him and humiliating him.
He hates him.
You got to come now, you got to come naked, and you got to explain it to everybody. Fabian was like, my God, this is like everyone's worst nightmare scenario, like all combined, like naked at work. Like,
yeah, and it's like, and then after explaining, it's like, haha, by the way, we don't give a shit. Even Professor X was like, why are we doing this?
And then Professor X was like, oh, hey, Amelia Voigt, what's up?
That's right, they did have a thing before, right?
Oh, yeah, they were like in love. Oh, my God,
and now they're going to fuck.
They're going to fuck. Chuck is like, I love Krakoa.
I know, but I would, of course, I want them to cut to a scene of him like going to the dark place or whatever, the no place or whatever, where Moira is, and she's like, I smell someone else's pussy on you, and he's like, it's Krakoa. Right. We're allowed to do that. You helped create this polyamorous thing. I'm allowed to fuck anyone I want, and she's like, all right, fine.
And then she blows her brains out and everything he says. One thing that is significant, first of all, I love Emma's reaction to Magneto. She's like, ugh, Eric, honestly, like, this was extra. Like, you wasted our time.
Yeah, like, she's like, the next time you want to do this shit, can you just, like, not invite me? Okay, don't call me.
What's interesting is they bring in an Iraqi, somebody from Morocco, to replace Fabian. And this feels like the first usage of Morocco since Ten of Swords.
Yes. Because, there's a whole island of Omega-level mutants.
20 times more mutants than our mutants are just chilling. And, like, where are they?
What are they doing? Do they have plans?
What are they doing? What are they cooking? Are they happy? What if they, like, do they know how to use the internet?
And here's the thing, is like, I mean, this is just me. Maybe I'm an asshole. This is, for me, if you hate Fabian Cortez and you don't trust him, you do realize you could kind of, I know this is awful, but you could kind of lobotomize him when you resurrect him so that he can't betray you. Professor X can do that. I think that's a much safer than trusting an Omega-level Iraqi who has her own complete agenda that they're unaware of. That's the one thing that I think is crazy, is they hate Fabian Cortez so much that they're trusting someone from Morocco that they don't know at all.
Yeah, and she, like, A, speaks in black speech balloons, red flag, and B, she's like, hey, what's up, everyone? I am murder. I am burning death. And they're like, okay, so this is Fabian's replacement.
This is better. But she's better. I do like how her powers work. She basically has a burning heart that makes her super powerful. But if she wants, instead of turning the burning heart inward, she can project it outward, and it makes everyone else's powers more powerful. I love that. So cool. I think that's, I mean, she's super cool. She's a super cool character.
Yeah.
I'm down with her. And then apparently there's whole international politics going on. And Brand is also using her as like her own assassin. And I think the reason Brand trusts someone from Morocco more is because she just doesn't trust Krakoa at all.
Yeah, and she can control them, arguably.
Yeah. And I think also she's kind of like, hey, I bet you she sees, oh, this whole Morocco Krakoa thing might go south. I need to be in on both sides. I need to have an in on both sides. Yes. I mean, Agent Brand is playing, I do sometimes feel like, do you not see that she's fucking playing chess when you guys are playing fucking checkers?
Well, hey, listen to the way we're speaking about this, and like look at what she's done. There was this snark war, which was going to disrupt kind of the political balance of the galaxy. So she went in, assassinated certain people, chose who would be the ruler, and ended the snark war. Sounds like CIA stuff to me, X-Force.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Agent Brand should be... And I think that's the problem, is Agent Brand only cares about space. But they need to find someone Agent Brandy to do X-Force. And right now, because she has questionable ethics, but her ex-lover, Beast, he has the questionable ethics and then just all bad ideas. She has questionable ethics, but good ideas.
Yeah.
Like, we need to find her. She needs to help find the replacement for X-Force. Now, at the end, what is all that shit in those pools that they're digging?
I'm not sure.
Is that from because they said, "Oh, you need me to go to the time." Like, what is the weird place they go to when they do combine all the powers?
Yeah.
And
I don't know. They didn't really explain where they go, but it's that Mysterion.
Mysterion.
Stuff.
Is that pool all the Mysterion stuff?
Maybe.
Okay. I like it. This is what I do feel. Sword is what X-Force is supposed to be. It's intrigue. It's political intrigue. It's backstabbing. It's fighting. It's all like who's in power, who's trying to gain power, who's trying to gain trust. You're totally right.
Smart.
Peepers is totally a mole. Like it's great.
Smartly written. It's just
the art is good.
Book. X-Force isn't an intelligent book about intelligence. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right,
enough.
We're going to talk
on
about
the other side of sociopolitical stuff is religious stuff.
Yeah, and this is one that I was really looking forward to because for me, the whole world of House of X created, that Hickman's created, I like seeing how does this really affect day-to-day society as a whole of this new world they're creating, and trying to take on the idea of morals and ethics and religion, of how that works in Krakoa through the eyes of Nightcrawler. Yes, I'm here for it. But was Way of X successful? Do you think this is a good book? We're going to do a 1, 2, 3. Loved it or hate it. New X book. On the count of 3.
Okay. Ooh!
1, 2, 3. Loved it. It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
And it has the things that it has a new fun little cast of characters. It has deep philosophical questions. It has a scary boogeyman leading up to a huge twist, which leads you to, oh, that's what this book is about? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. It's the opposite of Children with Adam, where I'm like, where's this going? Where Way of X, I'm like, I can't wait to see where this fucking goes. Don't fucking disappoint me.
So we, on a previous show, asked what books the writer of Way of X has written before, Cy Spurrier.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote Legion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this. What I love is the reveal at the end is this boogeyman that the kids on Krakoa keep talking about, the Patchwork Man. Turns out, spoiler, to be Legion. Turns out to be David Haller. What I love is they allude to the fact that this Patchwork Man is giving Charles Xavier nightmares. And when they depict this Patchwork Man in Charles's dreams, they made it look like Lucifer, the old X-Men villain from the 60s, the one who was originally responsible for Chuck being in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
They made it look like Lucifer. So everyone on the internet
I didn't even
was
put
like,
that together. I didn't realize that. That's cool.
Everyone on the internet was like, we already figured out that Patchwork Man is Lucifer. And even in an interview, Cy Spurrier was like, I mean, yeah, that, people online have got their theory about Patchwork Man. We didn't really hide it that well, so good for them. Like acting like they were right. It's not Lucifer, it's Legion. Yay.
In your face, idiots.
In your face. But this book is Kurt and Wagner front and center, and therefore, I'm here for it.
Well, because earlier, Kurt was like, I think I need to create a religion. And I think the one thing that he started to realize is there's people that already have religions. They're coming from all these different paths. And then he's also like, who am I? I'm not God. I'm not Jesus. I'm not L. Ron Hubbard. I think in the end, he's just such a humble person of like, who am I to tell all of Krakoa, what are you supposed to believe? And I definitely feel he's at this kind of, like, he's at his own moral conundrum of like, what do I believe? Because I'm Catholic, I was a priest, and now I'm in this crazy world where everybody's fucking everybody. Like, what do I feel about this? And I think the way, and it addresses a very great question, which I always thought about, of just like suicide. The of how taking that the fact that now that you can't die, it suddenly becomes the death no longer becomes important or drastic, and it actually they depict Pixie choosing to get herself killed for fun, basically.
Just because she hasn't yet.
Because she
and
hasn't
the other kids
yet.
were like, you haven't?
And they were making her feel bad because she hasn't been resurrected. And
it's this loose relationship with death that the mutants have now that is the source of Kurt's unease.
And I will just say this, it's an easy fix. It's an easy fix.
What is it?
Well, here's the thing. It's because I think there is more bribery than a goddamn like the government of China or something, like of who gets in line, of who gets resurrected when.
Oh, it's so corrupt.
It's so corrupt. And I think honestly, if you just say, hey, if you die and it wasn't
back of the line, pal,
you're in the back of the line. If you die for fun, you're at the back of the fucking line, and it might be 10 years before you're resurrected. I think if you announce that, nobody's gonna fucking do it anymore. You know what? I feel it's a very easy fix.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing that Kurt is struggling with. There are no rules. Like, what are the rules of how we should feel and what is moral and what is right?
And who deserves to get resurrected first? Because the sad thing is everyone, they're just resurrected. Like, Siren has been resurrected like 8 times. After just fucking killing herself a bunch of times. It's like, and then there's some poor person who lived on Genosha who didn't know anybody, and she might never get resurrected. You know what I mean? It's just so fucked up. And then there's another person who isn't resurrected that finally someone is putting 2 and 2 together. We're at Blindfold's. Blindfold's grave. And Kurt knew that Legion and Blindfold had a thing. Because that's the one thing is when
they had a strong thing.
Now, I will say this. When Professor X comes to Kurt for help saying, like, this patchwork man, he's, I'm having these nightmares, and I can't pinpoint who it is, but it's definitely an Omega level mutant. And Kurt's like, oh, okay, yeah, I think I know who it is. Am I assuming Professor X also clearly knows who it is? Right? Yes.
Yes.
And the fact that he's like calling Kurt to go deal with it, Xavier, you are a horrible father.
Yeah.
And Legion calls it out like, oh yeah, daddy's like dad can't deal with it, so he fucking sends you. What?
Yeah.
But he goes to Blindfold's grave, knowing that he'll find that, and he's just like, oh yeah, this bitch, oh this girl that I liked, oh she's not being brought back, huh? What's that about? Huh? That's kind of weird. There's not a single person that can tell the future on Krakoa. Huh? What's that about?
You know who else is like, Emma Frost.
Yeah. Has Emma Frost questioned that before too?
I just think she knows something is up.
Oh yeah. And that's what, and you know what issue, what series that's going to be addressed in.
Oh yes.
Because
Can't wait for the gala.
There's going to be the gala, but the Moira McTaggart series that's going to come out, that has to be the one that's coming out that they haven't officially announced. If you tell me that the main plot is Moira, Xavier, Magneto, Mystique, Emma, and Legion, if those are the main cast of characters, can you imagine how good that would be?
Yes, I can. Very easily. With my heart.
Anyway, Way of X is just... So basically, this is leading to Nightcrawler versus Legion. It's the battle that I never knew I wanted. And now that it's here, I'm like... I've been hungering for it. Like, I've wanted it all.
I'm not even so sure that that's the battle. I think the battle is Xavier and Legion, and Nightcrawler is our guest referee. That's how I see this moving forward.
That's probably true, too. Well, I do think what's going to happen pretty quick is I think what's going to happen is he's going to be trying to like appeal to Legion, being like, come to Krakoa, you need this, and Legion's going to be like, but what about this? What about this? What about this? And then Nightcrawler's going to be like, huh?
You're right.
Shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost serving as a foil to Nightcrawler. But I will say there is a better foil to Nightcrawler in this book, and it is perhaps the thing I am most excited about. If you have a faith guy, you got to have a prominent science guy to challenge the faith stuff. And who better to challenge anything than Dr. Nemesis?
Dr. Nemesis. And I was kind of like, I feel these little previews of him with his weird hair, which now I found out are magic mushrooms growing on his head. And he's taken off the mask. I was like, this seems he's acting out of character. Yeah, he's acting out of character because he's on magic mushrooms.
Hell yeah. He's on psychedelics constantly on this beautiful, organic, magical island. He gets it.
But the other crazy thing is you just slowly realize that there's a whole page of the science team. It's all him. No one is doing anything. He's like, no one is studying all of this. Okay, I am. And I did realize most of the people when they had that science team, a lot of them weren't mutants.
Yeah, like Kavita Rao and yeah.
Yeah, but I do remember where's Box? What happened to
where's
Box?
Madison Jeffries?
Madison
love
Jeffries.
him.
Yeah. Yeah, I just find all of this, I find him very fascinating. And it is true where you have the science versus the faith. And then you also have like the crazy outsider that you have to tame. And then you have Xavier, who's the leader, but then it's like, who's really right? So there's just all of these going to be I love how this is just going to be dealing with all these philosophical conundrums. Because the other thing that we have is the idea of the Crucible. And the Crucible at first was this kind of simple thing of like, oh, you should die honorably if you want to have your powers redone. But now it's just like,
this looks sadistic.
It's a sadistic bloodbath.
Awful.
And that's the one thing is who was it? Was it Kurt or where it was like the thing that worries me is that, and it's all of the mutants cheering. And he's like, that's what freaks me out is there's this crazy bloodlust where it's like, yeah, we're all dying. And it's for fun because it doesn't matter because death doesn't matter.
Because it doesn't matter.
Have you ever seen You ever see Zardoz?
No.
Is it Sean Connery? Yeah, it's a Sean Connery post-apocalyptic, futuristic.
I love post-apocalyptic
movie made in probably like 1971 or something like that. And it's Zardoz, and the whole like end reveal is everybody is there's like an elite class of people that can't die, and then there's like a poor working class, and they all worship this man called Zardoz as their god Zardoz, and it's off this book, and they follow this book, and then finally Sean Connery like finds the book, and it's the pages ripped, and it's the Wizard of Oz. And the page is ripped, so it's Zard Oz. And so they've just been, their Bible is just the Wizard of Oz.
The stupid
But
wizard.
basically at the end, he's like, you're all stupid. And then he's like, I figured out how to let you all die. And all these immortals are like, kill me, kill me, kill me. And so all these people are running and he's just killing all of them. They're like, yeah, I want to die. Anyway.
Sounds great.
It just reminds me of how Krakoa is, like, that's what they're turning into.
Yeah.
And here's a question. Do Arakko people get resurrected?
Who knows? Oh, I wonder if that's going to be one of the new books. What if Hickman's book isn't Moira, but it's Arakko?
I will fucking kill people. Look, I'd said I'm joining Al Qaeda. I'm just threatening.
Come on. The Hellfire Gala absolutely has to be about the outing of Moira. It has to be.
I mean, because it's like, you can't be like, okay, here is the greatest new character. Well, not character, but old character. The greatest reimagining of a character in the past 20 years. And now we're just never going to see her again. Like, stop it. You're driving me insane.
She's coming. She's coming. She's coming. We can feel it. Hellfire Gala. It's going to be Moira Rama.
I think that's enough of X-Men. I think we need to get to some MCU stuff.
Hit it.
someone who'll watch superhero sci-fi stuff with me.
All right, we reached an end.
Another MCU television show
started out with a bang, ended with a whimper, in my opinion.
Yeah, let's talk about it. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale,
and
episode 6.
Here's the thing. The finale of this, it had so many moments that were like, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. But then it was interjected with so many pace ruining parts where I'm like, I don't care. And it's literally the Flag Smashers. It's like, I feel like because they rewrote the stuff with the Flag Smashers, I feel like they needed to get rid of them because it really needed to be... Okay, we're here, spoiler alert. It turns out, what's her name? Emily Van Camp. What's her character's name again? I will never remember.
Carter.
Sharon Carter is, as Brett predicted, is the power broker.
Boom.
She's the villain, and they don't realize it. That is awesome.
It's awesome.
That is what that's what I want the show to be about.
Fantastic.
This whole arc of them fighting these Flag Smashers and this redheaded girl being like, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. There was just so many interesting things where I'm like, I want you to concentrate on this. Stop going back to the stupid Flag Smasher stuff. I don't care. It felt like it ruined the pacing for me.
Yeah, I think honestly where it dragged for me, that did drag all the Flag Smasher stuff. The Sam's speech in front of the cameras, I thought
was 10 minutes. It was like 500 hours long.
Way too long and wasn't powerful.
No.
To merit.
Oh my God. It was, my boyfriend was like, he was like, this is terrible. Like he was like,
and it was like
he was like, this would make me want to join a terrorist organization. Like he's like, this would have the opposite
both
effect.
Sides. It was very both sidesy.
Yeah.
I mean, but I can see Sam choosing reconciliation, choosing middle ground, choosing like empathy to carve out his point of view as Captain America.
But for me, it just felt like. It felt like Elle Woods in Legally Blonde, like stopping everyone and being like, no, but here's the lesson we have to learn. There's no way
those GRC people would be like...
They're like, shut the fuck... Yeah, it was just too long.
I mean, he did save their lives. But
he did, but I think like that whole message, if it was boiled down to like a 2-sentence comeback to them, if they were like, you don't understand, I don't understand, you try being a black man and blah 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 blah, fuck you,
just boom,
because I'm Captain America.
Turns everybody.
You know what I mean? Yes. If it started with him and then ended with him, I'm fucking Captain America, bitch, and then that was the end, like that would have been powerful to me. This like long, like on, I was like, I feel like whoever were the rewriters we need to have a tribunal. And because I feel like they ruined the show.
I think the show really got hacked to death.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And I think
because I feel like there's an amazing show in there, and it got reworked and made it not as good as it could have been. And I'm very angry about that.
Well, I got news for you. The showrunner Marcus Spellman. I was reading about it after the finale. He did put together like a mostly black writers' room, and I do want to say that Sam's family scenes felt very authentic.
Of course, I think the whole race relation thing is so important and great, but it wasn't. That needed to be the focus.
It was that plotty Flag Smasher.
Yeah,
like, it really did. It felt like sticking venom in Spider-Man 3. Like,
because guess what? It's like the focus was the race relations of the idea of there being a black Captain America, one of your closest friends and allies actually being the evil villain, the idea of this white man taking over for Captain America.
Yes,
my boyfriend was like, wouldn't it be more interesting if actually it started where Sam did decide that he wanted to be Captain America, and then they were like, no, we're going to give it to this guy. And I was like, oh, that sounds very...
Yeah, like if they like had a hand in him deciding he didn't want it. Like, hey, yeah, you don't want to do that, right?
Yeah, I found, and that's what
Yeah.
I mean is I think having all of that, and then them having with Baron Zemo and the Power Broker, like if Baron Zemo escaped and was then trying to do something, they were going after Baron Zemo, and as you can see, I'm literally erasing the Flag Smashers out of everything. Yeah. That show would have been tighter and way more powerful, because that's the thing that you're interested in is the character arcs and the character dynamics, and Baron Zemo, Carter, Isaiah Thomas, like that's where all of the powerful characters were. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, like that's where I want to see all of that shit.
I was thrilled at the end of episode 5 where it seemed like or episode 4 maybe, where it seemed like the real antagonist was John Walker. And I was like, yes, here it is. Now here's our show villain. It's John Walker.
And that lasted for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, he did a hero turn at the end.
No.
And then joined Julia Louis-Dreyfus in some, and him and his wife were like, well, I don't know, we're just along for the ride. Bubbity. But it's great to have U.S. Agent in the MCU. Like, I can't believe... Like, we're now this deep down the list of Marvel characters that are in TV and movies. Like, I remember being shocked that Wanda Maximoff was going to be in a movie, and like now we're down to U.S. Agent. Like, it's so great.
It is great, and I will say the end where it pops up instead, it just doesn't pop up Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it just popped up Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Amazing.
Although part of me was
so
like,
good.
it would be cool if it said Captain America and White Wolf.
Oh, that would be cool. But then they announced Captain America 4 starring the two of them.
Yes.
Like, it drops on online right when the episode ends.
I was angry about that because I would rather have a season 2.
I know.
I'd rather be...
I'll take whatever.
I mean, because it's like, so now the sequel... It's because at this point now it's like, so you're just going to give me 2 hours? No, I want full season 22 episodes, bitch.
Bitch. Ultimately, this show, like, I know it was weak in terms of the villain plot line, and it kind of pulled its punch on the John Walker stuff, I feel like.
Yeah.
However, one of my metrics was they better do right by Isaiah Bradley, and they sure did.
Yes.
They brought that story to kind of a wonderful sense of closure. They gave him more of a happy ending than he gets in the comic books. They really did set up Patriot in that there was a shot where Elijah Bradley was staring at Sam Wilson with just heroic admiration in his eyes. And I was like, there it is.
But know what I wanted is that I wanted his son... his grandson. What's his grandson's? What's Patriot's? Elijah would be like, hey, give me a picture by the statue. And then it falls on him. And then they're like, oh no, he needs a blood transplant. And then that's how it ends.
Was a good touch. Yeah, that would be great. And you gave us Happy Bucky. That's number one thing I wanted.
Happy Bucky. It is so funny that I rewatched Infinity War and Endgame this weekend, and I was like, wow, a haircut. What a haircut can do. I didn't know that, like, his short hair, and I'm not against like men with long hair or anything, but it was just like hanging there. They didn't, like, he needed like a Brazilian blowout or something maybe. I don't know.
Sure.
But that short hair on him, it is just
hair.
like, wait, hello.
They're like, every time he's on camera, I say out loud, would you look at him?
I know. He's now, like, my boyfriend on our hall pass, like, he's the number one celebrity now on the hall pass.
He is. No joke. He's so hot. My God. But hey, look, like, Phase 4 is giving us so much. WandaVision gave us the Scarlet Witch. Falcon and the Winter Soldier gave us Captain America Sam Wilson. Like, it's just like these pieces just fall into place when each thing is over. It's punctuated by like, and now you have this character. It's so good.
Yeah. And I just want to say, rewatching Endgame and Infinity War, knowing that like rewatching it, knowing about what's his name who played Black Panther, how he was sick while filming that.
Yeah.
Watching that broke my heart, because then you kind of just realize, like, oh, they keep putting him in the mask whenever anything.
Yeah.
He is only standing there. Like, it is very, like, it is like breaking my heart. And then character-wise, Wanda, the scenes with Wanda and Vision break my heart even more. And then there's just scenes with Bucky, and like the end scenes with Bucky, watching Bucky and Sam go up to the old Captain America, like all of that hit even harder. Knowing,
how about
like,
the knowledge
happening after?
The knowledge that Bucky knows what Steve's gonna do. That whole scene, like when they have the whole "you're taking all the stupid with you, goodbye." Steve already told Bucky. Bucky established that in Falcon. He's like, when Steve told me his plan, we didn't think what it would feel like for a black man to have to take up this mantle. And
I think I discovered something, and I might be crazy. And so, can we just end this with a theory I have on Endgame?
Sure.
Okay, so the time travel rules. Basically, they're like, whatever happens in the time that you're in, like, that's just what's happening. So if you go into the past and change it,
you create a branch.
And so that doesn't affect the present. So if Captain America goes back in time and decides to not come back to the present, if we are seeing him, if he decided to live through the present and we saw him there, the Marvel MCU is now in that new universe of Captain America choosing to stay.
Or did he go back to the original universe to give Sam the shield?
Oh, so he just popped there and now he's going to pop back away?
Yeah, back to his.
I didn't think about that either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, here's the other weird thing.
Is he dead?
Oh, I don't know. I really thought. I thought we might get like a check-in with old Cap.
That's what I mean. I feel like they kept referring to him as if he had already died.
Yeah, I think they're leaving it purposely vague. Chris Evans did sign on to do another project, but no one knows what it is. It's not Captain America 4. We know that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But, or was Cap going back to live with Peggy like always part of our universe? My head.
Who knows? But
overall,
what do we have? But now what do we have?
Show.
What do we have to watch next? When's Loki?
We have Loki in a month.
What are we gonna do, Brad? What are we gonna do?
Panic. Back to your point about Chadwick Boseman. Hopefully he gets his due tonight. Hopefully he gets recognized for the.
I think he is. I think he is going to win,
time.
And I do still feel. I'm just going to throw this out here. Chadwick Boseman is amazing, and I love him, and his impact as Black Panther is amazing and important. But I do think the impact of Black Panther as a character is equally as important. And I do not like the idea of killing off such an amazing character just because the actor that played him died. I think that you're taking away a cultural icon.
Yeah.
So
who knows what they're going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, there is going to be a show about Wakanda on Disney Plus, maybe.
Yeah.
But there is going to be a Black Panther 2 and a Black Panther 3.
Yeah.
So. Okoye, she's right there.
And you know what? We're going to be there to talk about it. That's because we are Comic Book Queers.
Legacy.
Remember when we named ourselves Legacy because X-Men at the time were doing the whole Legacy thing?
Is that why? I thought it was because of... I don't know. Well,
we did it because Legacy, because we were coming back. But also at the time, X-Men were doing like
Something
this Legacy. And we were like hopping on a trend. I thought we named
it after the Legacy virus.
Oh, is that what it was named after?
That's what was always in my head. No, I'm just kidding. I just thought of that now. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
because
virus, because we're gays, and we always have viruses.
And also, the show turns people queer.
That's right. That's
if you
right.
Listen to it.
Because I don't know if you're aware of this. For the 177th time you've listened to this show, but if you read comics, well, that makes you queer. Bye.
Bye.
Shazam.